got quite a good laugh out of hearing this because some people were linking me this article and they were saying things like, now finally they get to know what we feel like. They get to know what fans of Japanese games feel like. Yes and no. So let's just read the title and the tagline here. So Riot admits that localization teams censor League of Legends alphabet soup content in certain countries. And this is not the first time that Riot has censored references in League of Legends or alphabet soup references. Okay. So when I first read this, I thought, no, this isn't exactly like what we have to deal with. Now, what we have to deal with is worse because they're forcing Japan to censor at the source. So there is no uncensored version of the game. And like in this case with Riot, American League of Legends fans don't have to worry about Saudi Arabia censoring something. It's not going to affect their version. Whereas with us, Americans are forcing Japan to even censor the Japanese version. So they're really fucking over the Japanese players. But then I thought about it again. Maybe they are actually experiencing the same thing we are. They just haven't figured it out yet. So here's my view on the subject now. Notice that every time any of these developers adds alphabet soup content into their game, it's always like some background detail. It's something that's buried like 4 layers deep in the lore. It's so far separated from the gameplay and the main storyline, you oftentimes have to look for it if you want to find it. Like the article even says, references. Like they put references here and there to alphabet soup content, but it's never front and center. They do it that way on purpose, so it'll be easy to rip it out in other regions. But you're never going to see them do like a full-blown alphabet soup front and center in your face storyline. Because if they did that, they'd have to completely alter the game in other regions. So, wow, maybe they actually are. They are getting what's coming to them after all. Now, just like how we have to deal with the stuff we like being censored for modern audiences, and even the original Japanese versions are getting toned down and censored to American standards. Maybe the American games are being toned down to like Middle Eastern and Chinese standards as well. And I know it's not video games, but when it comes to TV, animation, this is why they tried to make a big deal about, what was that movie that just flopped? Strange Worlds, that one. Because most of these other movies, the alphabet soup stuff, it's always something like, a 3-second scene of 2 girls kissing. So easy to remove and not take away anything from the story. But with Strange Worlds, apparently, like the main character being gay was a big part of the whole point, the story. They weren't going to be able to censor that. If the American audience didn't carry that movie, it was going to be a flop because it was just going to be outright banned in a lot of the rest of the world. And guess what? It was a total flop. I wonder if they're going to learn their lesson from this. Probably not. But that's what they're doing with the games too. So the fact that the alphabet soup representation is all just token references here and there that could easily be removed for other regions, that just shows that they don't really care. So just keep that in mind next time they try to virtue signal. Oh, if you care about alphabet soup representation so much, why don't you make it a major point of the game that you can't just patch out real quick? All right, Games has admitted that localization teams controversially censor League of Legends in some countries. Oh, you mean they make it better by removing propaganda? See, no, it's not censorship. It's called localization, okay? What works in one region doesn't work in another region, guys. It doesn't count as censorship. The League of Legends is having a big weekend thanks to the current year World Championship. The top League of Legends teams from all over the world competed to get to this point, making it a worldwide phenomenon. People still watch League of Legends? I'm actually surprised. No, but Riot Games has stated that there will be some changes to the game's wording in certain countries revolving around the game's alphabet soup characters. There are no alphabet soup characters if you don't play the Western version. So, according to an executive producer, references to anything alphabet soup will be removed in countries where being gay is controversial or illegal. The game publisher explains to Sky News that some words will be replaced, like changing lover to partner. So the timing of the omission will raise eyebrows as League of Legends only just announced its first openly gay black champion, Cassante. Gay rap icon Lil Nas X has also been a part of Riot's marketing of the new champion and also performing during World's opening ceremony. Where are all these being advertised though? Like, I'm not trying to be mean here. They say, been part of the marketing. Like, I have not seen any marketing around coming from League of Legends in maybe 3 years. I don't even know what's going on with League of Legends these days. It just completely slipped off my radar. Riot Games explains alphabet soup censorship. You mean localization, okay? Stop calling it censorship. It's just localization. The executive producer, Jeremy Leese, had the task of explaining Riot's decision to remove queer references in League of Legends. He said he is very proud of Cassante since many players will feel represented by him. Oh, he better be a good character. Because if he fucking sucks, no one's going to give a shit about representation. They're going to play the characters they're good at. Like, actually, with me, like, I think back when I played League of Legends, the two characters I was the best with were Dr. Mundo and Nami. I don't really feel represented by either of those two characters, if I'm being honest, but they're both cool and they were fun to play. And Nami was pretty good to look at too. So that was fine. Yeah, but some regions localize the game in a way they feel is best for their specific player base. Yeah, it's funny now that the shoe's on the other foot, huh? Yeah, each region may publish certain aspects of the game a little bit differently to fit the local culture, Lee said. It's funny that they need to explain this. The decision has unsurprisingly left League of Legends community frustrated and disappointed, though not surprised. Do something about it. No, guys, why don't you start demanding that Riot put alphabet soup stuff in such a central position to the game that it literally can't be removed? Why don't you start demanding that, Riot, or fans of Riot? Make them put their money where their fucking mouth is, man. Now, the report from Sky included a reaction from streamer Ben Ostwick, who accused Riot of putting revenue over alphabet soup representation and inclusivity. That's exactly what they're doing, yes. Why don't you hold them accountable for it? Now, other League players content creators online had similar reactions to Riot's admission. Riot Games has been accused of censoring alphabet soup content, localizing alphabet soup content in the past in League of Legends. China previously localized the love story between champions Diana and Leona. No, guys, it's not censorship if it's localization. That's what you've been telling us when you censor Japanese games. So fuck you. You don't get to cry about censorship now since you support it when it happens to us.